thanks.
Would you like me to stay, Mum?
Yes, please, Angela. If you attempt to leave, I'll need you to restrain him. You can break an arm or two, but for God's sake, avoid damaging his groin.
Very good, Mum.
Mr. Daniel Saunders.
Yeah.
Though you prefer to be known as Danny, the champion of the world.
That's right.
Well, I shan't be calling you that. How are you, Mr. Saunders?
All right, I guess. And you are?
Oh, you haven't been told?
No. No one's told me anything.
Well, apologies for that, but this meeting has to be confidential. I'm sure you understand.
No, not really. And again, who are you?
I'm the acting Prime Minister.
Acting? Well, I'm the other one.
The other one?
You know, the scary one. One who looked like Dracula in drag.
Ah, yes. I'm afraid she didn't make it.
Oh, didn't she?
No, and there was a Deputy Prime Minister in charge after her, but he didn't make it either.
What have you done to them? Sort of gunpowder plot or something?
No, Mr. Saunders, it wasn't us who killed them, it was the virus.
Virus? What virus?
CJV. Cerebral jellification virus.
That doesn't sound very nice.
No, it isn't. Once infected, part of the brain is quickly turned into a thick jelly, making survival impossible. But according to our scientists, it tastes rather like raspberry.
That was always my favourite raspberry.
Strangely enough, the Deputy Prime Minister managed to survive for quite some time despite his brain being jellified, which perhaps suggests how little he was using it.
So, how bad was his virus?
Well, that rather depends on your point of view. You see, the virus only targeted people with Y chromosomes.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
The entire male population has Y chromosomes.
That doesn't sound good at all.
No. The virus was highly contagious and it had a nasty habit of getting into the water supply. Before we realised what was going on, it had spread through the entire British mainland.
Well, the Prime Minister, I mean, she didn't have Y chromosomes, did she?
No, of course not. She was stabbed in the back by her Foreign Secretary. The House of Commons got rather bloodthirsty towards the end.
So what's happened to the virus now? Have you cured it?
No, we didn't need to. The virus was so efficient it killed off all the available victims in a few days, so it had nowhere else to go and appears to have died out.
But the other countries, didn't they get it?
No. Luckily for them, no. The last act of our late lamented health secretary was to contact the United Nations and to tell them the UK needed to be quarantined immediately. Of course, if he hadn't slashed the budget to our infectious diseases laboratory, we might not have been in this mess in the first place. But thanks to his quick action, the planes and ships that had left from the UK were directed to quarantine overseas, where the male passengers were dealt with by medical professionals.
Dealt with?
Quite efficiently. The Swiss authorities were particularly ruthless, so much for their peace-loving reputation.
So what happened over here? I mean, were there many deaths?
That's really not important. What's important is how many males survived.
How many?
One.
Just one?
Yes.
Oh, the whole British mainland?
Yes.
Lucky bastard. Who is he? Oh. So you mean I'm the only man left alive?
Yes.
The only one on the whole British mainland?
Yes.
On an island full of women?
Yes.
Bloody hell.
Precisely.
How did I survive? I mean, am I special or something?
Hardly. According to these records, you were in a coma for 3 weeks.
Yes?
Do you recall why you were in a coma?
Not really, no.
Let me enlighten you. You had been drinking.
That sounds like me.
The doctors estimate that you had so much alcohol inside you, it would have rendered an elephant unconscious.
Must have been a night out with my mates.
Yes, it was. Playing various drinking games, including ones called Vodka Kamikaze, Death or Glory, and Let's Go Camping. Judging by the amount of alcohol in your body, you clearly weren't very good at them. However, they saved your life.
Really?
Yes, the doctors believe the level of alcohol in your blood was so high, the virus in your body simply couldn't survive.
Cool.
What they can't understand is how you managed to survive with that amount of alcohol inside you in the first place.
Super cool.
But unfortunately for you, your days of heavy drinking are now at an end.
What?
Let me ask you some personal questions. You're not married, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah. Well, we never really put it in those terms. You see, we have what I call a flexible relationship. I suppose you could technically say that she's my girlfriend.
According to your
but,
associates, you recently spent an evening at the home of a lady called Tiffany. Is that who you mean?
That's the one.
But you had to leave her flat through her bedroom window because her fiancé, an amateur heavyweight boxing champion, was attempting to break down the door.
Well, as I say, things were flexible.
I think we can safely say you don't have a girlfriend.
I suppose so.
That's good.
Why is that good?
Well, you see, Mr. Saunders, the reason I invited you for this little chat
Don't recall being invited.
is because, despite the hopes of several of my colleagues, we have come to the conclusion that the UK actually does need men. Oh, well, obviously not for the vast majority of jobs. I mean, women are perfectly capable of flying jet planes, building bridges, playing Premier League football. But we've decided that the UK's long-term future will suffer considerably if there is not a proportion of males in the population.
Thank God for that.
Unfortunately, we can't bring in any men from overseas for the foreseeable future because of the risk of infection.
I thought you said the virus had died out.
Well, we're confident that it has, but it could take several months or even years of careful research before we can prove that to the international community. Unfortunately, most of the leading virologists in this country were male, so we're having to bring in female experts from abroad, but they're not cheap, I can tell you.
No, you don't want to hire a cut-price virologist.
So, as we are short of men, we have decided to start breeding some, which is where you come in.
Ooh. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, we have sperm banks in the UK, but they've been flooded with applications and their stocks will run out very quickly. We've asked other countries to set up an emergency sperm donation programme for us, but that hasn't been as successful as we'd have hoped.
That's unfortunate.
But we do need to act fast before the British women who want a child start going abroad to get themselves impregnated. We expect that would cause the economy to collapse because millions of them could head overseas.
You mean the economy didn't collapse when all the men died out?
Not by as much as you think. Anyway, so what we need is a source here in Britain.
Source?
Yes, we need some good old-fashioned homegrown sperm, if you see what I mean. So we can start a Made in Britain campaign, put a union flag on it, that sort of thing. Just to encourage young women that they don't have to go abroad to have a child.
You want me to father children with millions of women?
No, obviously you couldn't do that.
I could try.
It would only be a few thousand, and we'd obviously have to keep track of those that you'd fathered so they didn't start interbreeding later on.
So how am I supposed to go about this? I mean, do I go on dates with them or something?
Oh, God, no. You wouldn't be allowed any physical contact. We can't risk you catching any sexual diseases or the like, because, you know, no, it would all be done by test tubes and artificial insemination.
That doesn't sound much fun.
Well, we could ask the women to send in selfies or something, if that would be
That? I'll spend the next few years locked up in a sperm bank.
Mr. Saunders! Angela! What are you doing? It's in a boy for groin!
Sorry, Mum. Apologies. On the way over here, he called me a curvaceous babe.
Well, I'm sure his groin will recover. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Saunders, but we really can't have you running around on your own. It is vitally important that you remain healthy. At the moment you are clear of sexual infections, but it would be a disaster if you were to pick something up.
How do you know I'm clear?
We took some samples while you were in your coma.
Explain some of the dreams I had in hospital.
And you will need to stay off the alcohol. We have to ensure your sperm count remains high. And that's not the only thing you'll have to keep up.
Hang on, you mean I'm not allowed to go out drinking?
Mr. Saunders, you will not be going out at all. You are simply too valuable. You will be kept under a 24-hour armed guard.
I'm prepared to take the chance.
I don't think so. It is not an exaggeration to say that we fear you could be kidnapped by criminals wanting to sell off your products. I'm sorry, Mr. Saunders, you will have to accept the situation. It is for your own good as well as Britain's.
So what you're saying is I have to spend the next few years locked up in a sperm bank with nothing but test tubes and some dirty pictures for company?
Well, if I had my way, you would be. Unfortunately, under European legislation, apparently you have the right to a family life. So, until we can get that overturned, you will be allowed some female company. Conjugal visits, once a fortnight, that sort of thing.
Sound much of a family life to me.
But in the meantime, we need you to get going. There are many women across the country who are keen to have a child. I happen to know that Angela here was keen to start a family with her late boyfriend.
Really?
Goodbye and good luck, Mr. Saunders. And remember, in a few years' time, you may well be seen as the father of this country.
So, Angela, got any selfies you'd like to show me?